Hi everyone, Charlie here with Drug Addictions. I just want to start my video like I started them all off. In no way do I think I'm a professional, so if I do give advice or when I do give advice, it's just things that worked for me. Or also things that I've actually, gone through, or if I tell stories, none of it is logically proven. Put it that way. Today's video is actually going to be about memory loss. I'm pretty sure it's funny that I'm talking about memory loss. I think I've gotten into this in one of my other videos, not too sure because my memory is so bad. Um, anyway, we'll get straight to it. So, when I started using drugs, or let's go back a little bit further. Before I started using drugs, I didn't have the greatest memory to start off with. It wasn't bad at all. I wish I could remember way back then because then I would know, but I can't because everything's kind of blurry from when I used drugs. I do want to say though, when I was a kid, when I first moved, this happened when I was a kid. So I had these reoccurring dreams about, this one house. Um, Here in actual Cape Breton, right up in New Victoria. So the first day we got here, we called my dad, and we had the big trailer on the back of the van. I was driving. Okay, this is Main Street. This is where my dad lives. Blah blah blah. So we go up that street, then we go down to his other street, like his other house. The one that is hit my poppy gave to him in New Victoria. So we're going onto the street, and I look and I say to my mom, I say, Mom, have I ever been in that house? She's like, no, like, because we lived here when we were little, right? She's like, no, you've never. She's like, we've driven past it. As soon as I seen it, like it was a house I remember dreaming about, but now I think it wasn't a dream. I think it was me remembering from when I was all the way. I think we left when before I was 2 years old. So I was walking and everything, not even talking, and I could remember this house. Um, Aside from that, the other thing I remember is going into this place and going down the stairs, and then at the bottom of the stairs, there was a hole in the ground, like not there unless you lifted it, like a basement, pretty much. And I remember my dad going down there, and I looked at my mom and I said, in my head, I'm trying to think that I said, "Can I go down there?" But I probably wasn't even talking yet. My mom was like, "You can go down, you can go down." So I go down there looking for my dad. I can't find him. I freak out, go back up the stairs. So years go on. Again, when we were here, I said that to my mom. My mom's like, "How do you remember that? Like, how is that even possible? You weren't even 2 years old yet." I think I was like a year and a couple months, maybe 16 months, 17 months old. Like, she's like, I don't know how you remember that. And it blew my mind that I can remember stuff like that. So my long-term memory is good. So this is probably pretty much my short-term and somewhat long-term, I guess, because there's a lot of things that I can't remember. When I originally started making this channel, in my head, I was like, okay, I'm going to tell people stories about what I did and getting high and like the adventures I went on. And I don't mean good adventures, like I mean like physically things that happen and running from the cops and this and that. And I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday about it, and it's a little discouraging because I can't remember everything. It's like I remember, that I was a piece of crap that was using drugs all the time, using excuses to get high. Yeah, I was sick. Yeah, it's a disease. It's something when you're addicted to, it's hard to get off. But I know there's a lot of times I made excuses to do drugs, and everyone does. If you're trying to hide it, like if you don't have family and you don't have anyone that cares about you, and when I say cares about you, the quotations, I mean like people that actually care about you. Um, then you're not gonna care about doing drugs. You're not gonna make excuses for it because you don't have to justify it to anybody. For me, I had my mom at the time before I started, or before my kids. I had my mom. I had to justify it to. I had family, friends. Like I had to give reasons or lie and twist things and this and that. And it's hard. It's a lot harder to to use drugs when you have people that care about you. For those that don't have people that care about them, they just don't care. They do it. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic here. So memory loss, and this is one thing I'm talking about right now. Right before I started saying this, like when I was just talking about the last part, I don't remember what I was just talking about. And it's starting to bother me because it can be something I was talking about 30 seconds ago and it's a blank. I'll have to sit here hum and haw. And there's been times when I first started making my videos where I actually had to stop and remake a whole video. I think it happened with 2 or 3 other videos, and I got upset about it. There's other videos that I was gonna make, which is you see the big gaps. I'd start making them and I'd forget, Or I would be like, okay, like tonight I'd be going, oh, that's a great video for tomorrow. Wake up, what was that video? I can't remember. So memory loss, I think I am going to see a doctor about it. I don't know. I know my dad doesn't have the greatest memory. But he's never used drugs. Like, he's never had that, he drank and stuff when he was younger. And that's pretty much it. He never had the problems that I had. So this is partially hereditary, but my dad's got a way better memory than I do. And as I was saying about, from when I was using drugs, this is quite a piece away from, I mean, it is what it isn't, but it's been 10 months. I think I'm coming up on 10 months on the 19th. I'll have to look into that, but I'm pretty sure it's 10 or 11. My August 19th. So we're in June, July, August. So yeah, on the 19th of this month, I'll be 10 months clean. In a big picture, that's not a lot of time, but in the big picture, for me, that's a lot of time. But in the small picture, when you're looking at, life altogether, 10 months isn't a long time. Like, I've done more than that in jail, wasted time, wasted my life for stupid things that I did. Back to the memory loss thing. So I started thinking yesterday, I was talking to my girlfriend, started thinking about, about videos that I can make, and I'm telling them, like, I can't remember. I'm trying to get onto topics in my head, and I can't conjure it in my head to make a video about it. And it gets under my skin because I don't know if it's from, sorry, not that I don't know, I know part of it is from using drugs, but my memory has gotten worse since I stopped using drugs. It wasn't nearly this bad when I was using drugs. Like, it was pretty decent, to be honest with you. I remember or forget certain things and, silly things, but nothing like this. And it could be subconsciously my brain's blocking out, that stuff that it doesn't want to remember. But to me, one thing is, it's important to remember where you came from. You need to remember where you came from, otherwise you'll go back down that same path. So, I don't know. I am going to see a doctor about it. I guess I can say, for anyone out there using drugs, stuff like that, if you can get yourself clean, I'd advise doing it and maybe getting a full checkup and everything, because there could be something seriously wrong with you and you don't know. Like, I might have something wrong with me and I don't know. I'm young still. I feel old because of everything I've done. I'm almost 30 years old. I turned 29 or 30. I turned 29 on the 29th of this month. So I'm starting to feel old. I know I'm very young in the big picture, but I'm starting to feel old, and it's partially because my body's worn down from everything that I've done, the drugs that I've done, places I've been, as in, like, breathing in stuff I shouldn't have been breathing in aside from drugs. But yeah, so memory loss is a for real thing. I don't know if this happens to everybody. This is part of the reason why, too, I haven't gone and done what I said I was going to do with doing interviews with people. I just feel that me talking and then forgetting stuff, even if I got it written down in short form, like, I have to write it right out, and then it would be, unprofessional. I know I'm not professional or anything like that, but I don't want to keep going, hold on a second, I'm looking down and reading something. Oh yeah, so to me, that's not what I want it to be about. I want other people to feel like I can be somebody they can go to, and I don't want them looking at me reading something off a paper and going, why would this guy is just like any other person. This is just like a psychiatrist looking down at their notes and stuff. That's not what it's about for me. I would like to be able to help people from here and from here. But this isn't working proper right now. Like, it doesn't want to coincide with my mouth and my heart even. Like, it's hard. And it frustrates me, and I get depressed, I guess. Like, but I'm not depressed. It's hard to explain. It feels like I'm being suppressed from my memory loss. And, I get headaches almost every day, which, isn't a good thing. But for me, I'm scared to go to the freaking, sorry, pardon my language. I'm scared to go to the hospital. I'm scared to go get checked out because of this corona thing. Now, I'm not a vivid believer in it. Like, I don't think everything that's going on is true, but what if I'm wrong? What if I get there, oh, you have to get checked for corona, and they inject me with this needle, and then all of a sudden I have it. Like, partially for me, that's what could be going on is that you don't have it. You know, let's test. And even the doctors and stuff don't know, but there could be the coronavirus or whatever in that needle that they're injecting you, that they're testing you with. But no one here knows, only the government knows and the pharmaceutical companies. So there's a lot behind of, what's going on, but sorry about getting sidetracked again. All I want to say is that memory loss is a real thing. Obviously, everyone knows that, but using drugs, and I'm gonna find out soon, and I will have a follow-up video with this. I'm hoping that when everything's safe and everything, and I can go get checked out and see where my headaches are coming from and why I can't remember things, that we can get to the bottom of it, and maybe I can come with a follow-up video and say, look, it wasn't because of drugs, it's because of this. I'm hoping that's not the case. I hope there's nothing wrong with me, but I really do believe that years of putting different drugs into my bodies, on top of not just different drugs, what's mixed in with those drugs. Ridiculous things like rat poison, cattle steroids, like... Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you watched all the way through to the end, I really appreciate it. I know it's hard to sit there. I look at my views and stuff, and I don't have a lot, which isn't a big deal. If I get through to one person, I'm happy, but the view duration is very low, so I know everyone only lasts a couple minutes. If you made it to the end, please comment on my video below and say that you watched till the end. And yeah, I would really appreciate that. Any questions, comments, also in the section below. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully more to come. I'm going to try to do this every day.